سیران کوفه مسیب و شام نعره صلوات. اللهم صل علی محمد.
For the deceased of the owner of the house, the sponsors of the Majlis, and for all the attendees of the Majlis, rahimahullah, ala fatihata ma'a salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وحبيب إله العالمين بالقاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الهداة المهديين. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية علي أمير المؤمنين والأئمة المعصومين صلوات الله عليهم أجمعين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
We send our condolences to the Imam of our time and to all the believers for the Ayyam al-Arba'in of Imam Hussain, of the upcoming departure of Rasulullah, Shahadat al Hussain al-Shaban. As you know, these days, according to some of the riwayat, it is the Shahadat of Imam Raza alayhi salam. Please recite the salawat. We'll begin our speech with the tawassul to Imam Raza, and inshallah Imam Raza himself sends barakat and blessing to this majlis and give hajat to fulfill the hajat of all the mu'minin who are attending. As-salamu alayka ya Aba al-Hassan, ya Ali ibn Musa, أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك يا الله، وقدرناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها One of the signs of a mu'min is that not only he cares about the quantity in his life, but more importantly, he focuses on the quality of things that he has in his life. Quality of the knowledge that we gain, quality of our marriage, quality of our relationship with our brothers and sisters, quality of everything that we have in our lives. Not only quantity, but also quality. Today, inshallah, we'll focus on this concept of quality. Quality is not gained by increasing a number. If someone lives a life of 100 years, it doesn't mean that they had a life with barakah. The Arabi is barakat. Maybe someone lived for 20 years, for 30 years, but they served so much that that life of 20 and 30 was a life of barakat. Barakat is not to the quantity of your wealth, it's the quality of the wealth. It's not the quantity of the time that you have, but how you spend the time determines the barakat of the time. There's a story that most of us have heard, since we have some young ones here. I will share with them as well. That one day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam was sitting somewhere. This hadith and this story can be found in the book of Bahar. And he was wearing clothes that was kind of old. He was sitting with Amir al-Mu'mineen. One of the Sahabi came and said, Ya Rasulullah, if I give you 12 dirhams as a gift to go buy yourself another dress, would you accept it? Rasulullah smiled, said, okay. And Rasulullah gave the 12 dirhams to Amir al-Mu'mineen to go and buy, another dress. Amir al-Mu'mineen went to the bazaar, came back, and he bought something that was worth 12 dirham. Rasulullah looked at it and said, go ahead and return this. And I want to get something that is cheaper. But Amir al-Mu'mineen went to the bazaar, returned the 12 dirhams, and now Amir al-Mu'mineen and Rasulullah are walking. They're walking and they see this lady who was a Kenyan, a servant, was crying. Rasulullah asked, what's wrong? And he said, I had 4 dirhams and I lost it. My master gave me 4 dirhams to go buy something and I lost it. And I cannot go back to the house and say I lost the 4 dirhams. And Rasulullah said, no worries, here is 4 dirham. They go to the bazaar, Rasulullah picks a clothes that is 4 dirham. He puts it on, the Kaaba, and then they're walking and someone comes to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, I don't have anything to wear, can you help me? And of course Rasulullah took it off and said, here, this is my gift to you. And they went back to buy another clothes with the remaining 4 dirham. They're coming back and then they see the same lady again crying again. So, you're still here, wasn't your problem solved? We said no. By the way, let me just say something here. If you look at Quran, the word infaq has been used. Most of us know the meaning of infaq. If you want to look at the fiqhi meaning of infaq, has a specific meaning. When it says يُنْفِقُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, infaq means solving someone's problem. You cannot give 2 dirham and say it's infaq when someone needed 4 dirham, because you didn't solve the problem. Infaq means solving someone's problem. Okay? So, for example, in this case, she needed 4 dirham, Rasulullah gave 4 dirham. Now she had another problem, infaq of Rasulullah. It's too late. If I go back, my master is going to get very angry. That, where have you been? So Rasulullah says, come with me. And they walk to the house of the master. And Rasulullah says, Assalamu alaikum. Nobody replies. Second time, Assalamu alaikum. Nobody replies. Third time, Assalamu alaikum. The guy comes out and says, Wa alaikum assalam. Says, Ya Rasulullah, I know your tradition is that you say salam 3 times before you leave, and I wanted to hear your voice for 3 times. Then Rasulullah says, can you forgive this lady because of me? I know she's late. And the man said, not only I forgive her, I free her. And then Rasulullah is coming back and talking to Amir al-Mu'mineen. See, that 12 dirham had a lot of barakat in it. Someone was freed, 2 people who didn't have clothes were clothed. That's the barakat that we're talking about. And you look at Ahlul Bayt, they make decisions based on this. Okay, what can I buy with 12 dirhams? Can I buy something that, serves my purpose, that's good? It doesn't have to be always something really cheap and bad. But I can use the rest of the money to solve someone else's problem. That's a very important lesson for all of us when we make decisions about what we want to buy for our houses. So, there are some factors that will bring barakat in our lives. The first one, if you look at the ahadith, is the concept of sadaqat, truthfulness. And if you look at the hadith, it's not talking about Muslims or mu'min. He says, whomever has truthfulness in his life will have barakat in his life, whether it's Muslim or non-Muslim. Whether it's a believer of Ahlul Bayt or not, doesn't matter, universal law. If you have sadaqat, truthfulness, you will see barakat in your time, in your wealth, barakat in your life. So if you look at the concept of truthfulness, according to teachings of Ahlul Bayt, there are different levels. The first level is being truthful with your tongue. There's a very beautiful hadith from Rasulullah that says, Al-lisanu jirmuhu saghir wa jurmuhu kabir. Lisan, its weight is very little. But the crimes that you commit with it are very big, very important. Allah says there are 20 major sins, gunah kabira, that you can commit with this little tongue. With this little tongue. Someone came to Allah Tabi and he said, like, give me a zikr to do this, zikr to do that. He said, no, there's no zikr and things like this. If you want your problems to be resolved, be careful about this little tongue. Don't harm other people with this little tongue. Please recite the salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There's this person, and he was a martyr of the defenders of the Haram of Sayyidism. And he had told his friend that, yes, when I was living in Mashhad, we had a teacher who came to our class one day at the university. He says, can we be truthful? Can anyone sitting here tell me for 4 months till the end of the semester, you're not going to lie? Of course, nobody raised their hand. This Shaheed, he raised his hand, said, I will try. It took 24 hours. Next day, he came back to the teacher and said, I broke my promise. Unfortunately, I couldn't, keep my promise. And the teacher said, why? Did you lie? He said, not the way you think. I was praying. And I said, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. That I only worship you and I only seek help from you. And in the middle of the prayer, I thought, wait up, that's not true. I wish it was true, but it's not true. To that extent, that when we say something, we really, really mean it. Do we only worship Allah? You look at the concept of shirk based on the teachings of Amir al-Mu'mineen, it's very scary. Do I only seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do I really believe Wallahu khayrul raziqin? Or do I think, no, I need to, take care of my boss, and that person, and this person, versus no, I need to take care of Allah first. I need to take care of Allah first. Please recite the salawat. People like me will try to go with the boss and everything, and if nothing works, can we go to the house of Allah, Ya Allah help me? It should be the other way around, right? It should be the other way around. Second level of sadaqah, truthfulness, is with your amal, which is much, much harder, as you can imagine. Rasulullah has a beautiful hadith about a Muslim. Who is a Muslim? Not even a mu'min, Muslim. Al-Muslimu man salim al-nas min yadihi wa lisanihi. Muslim is a person that the other people, are at peace from his tongue and his hand. That means he doesn't harm other people. That person can say, I am a Muslim. We're not even talking about mu'min. We're not even talking about mu'min. It's very, very important. There was a story that someone came to Rasulullah, like they were sitting, and he says, there's this lady, old lady, but she is well known for fasting and praying and everything, for her ibadat. Her level of ibadat is known by the people in the neighborhood. But she has a very harsh tongue. And then Rasulullah said, La khayra fiha. There is no khayr in her. Hiya min ahl al-nar. She will end up in the hellfire. SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. You have to be very, very careful about this little tongue, brothers and sisters. The second factor that can help us to bring barakat in our lives is when you make a promise, wafa' bil-ahd, you fulfill that promise. You fulfill that promise. And again, this is a universal law. It doesn't matter if the person is a Muslim or non-Muslim. If you want barakat in your life, be careful about the promises you make, even if it's to a little child. Someone made a promise to a child in front of Rasulullah and he didn't fulfill it. And Rasulullah said, you promised him. It doesn't matter if it's a child or an adult. It doesn't matter if it's your relative or someone that you don't know. A promise is a promise. The third thing that can help us to have barakat in our life is salay rahim. When you go and visit your kin, your family, your loved ones, even if it's a phone call, even if it's a phone call to a loved one, your parents, back home, wherever they are, would you remember them? And you try to, inshallah, keep that connection and relationship with them. What happens is barakat goes away in our lives sometimes. And we complain to Allah, what happened? For example, there is no rain, right? Or when it rains, it floods. No, barakat is not always something that is taken away from you. Sometimes it comes in a way that is destructive, right? Still, there is no barakat in that. If you want to have barakat in your life, be careful about haqqun nas. That's the next one. Be careful about haqqun nas. When we say, think of haqqun nas, so well, I didn't kill anyone, I didn't steal from anyone. Ayatollah Ali was talking about this, and he gave an example. He said sometimes, some people, alhamdulillah, none of the brothers sitting here, but some people, they do sirqat, like, they steal in a very, the translation would be like, they do it behind the scenes. They do it in a way that nobody thinks or defines it as stealing. He was talking to people, okay, if someone doesn't give khums, and they say, wait, I'm going to give it to, to fuqara. I was like, khums is not for fuqara. Part of it is for sahm sadat. You don't just give it to anyone you want. And part of it is known as sahm imam. You don't just give it to anyone you want. Sahm imam. Something as simple as that. The haqq, the huquq that we have upon each other, we have to be very careful. As a brother, you have a right upon another brother. In the community, an alim has huquq. Parents have huquq. Your child has huquq. Your wife, your spouse. We've got to be very careful about these brothers and sisters. There was very sad that this lady who was getting divorced from her husband. And the reason behind that is, after 15 years of marriage, that this guy doesn't care about his hygiene. I mean, I've told him multiple times, I just can't live like this. It's very sad to hear, very sad to hear. She was like, he doesn't even brush his teeth. If you look at the sawab, so mashallah, so, Islam is so beautiful. They say 1 rak'at of salat of someone who brushed his teeth before salah equals 70 rakat of someone who didn't. 70 rakat for someone who didn't. This is very important. They say on the Thursday night, the next day is Friday, people come to Salat al-Jum'ah. Rasulullah would not eat onions because people around him may be bothered by the smell. To that extent, so detail-oriented. Rasulullah used to spend more money on his perfume than on his food. So one day they say, Imam Jawad alayhi salam, so say salawat. He was wearing like a very good perfume. And someone he was young. Unfortunately, some people, they don't see Imam as an Imam. Doesn't matter if it's young or old. The best example I can give you is the light set here, right? You can have a small light bulb or a huge light bulb, right? What makes the difference is the connection to electricity. If there is connection to electricity, it will light up the room, whether it's small or big, doesn't matter. If there's the connection to Allah, to divinity, Imam is an Imam. But these people, these Jahil people, say, okay, they said, well, this is wrong. You shouldn't spend this money on perfume. He said, you should have seen my father, Imam Raza. He would have spent more on perfume. That's the sunnah of Rasulullah. That's the sunnah of Rasulullah, brothers and sisters. Barakat in our lives. You look at the people nowadays who are walking to Arba'in. The barakat of Arba'in. There's so much barakat in it. One small barakat is this. There are verses in Quran that we read, and we read the translation, but we don't understand the meaning behind it. In the past, those of us who experienced this, maybe you're listening to a cricket game. Has that ever happened? There was no TV. Sometimes you would listen to a soccer game. And then later on TV came. Now you watch it. That's a different experience. You're watching it. Now what if you go to the stadium and you're watching the cricket game or the soccer game live? It's different when you hear something and you see it. There are many verses of Quran that you see it happening in Arba'in in front of your eyes. The verse of Quran that about those people that have nothing themselves but sacrifice or give everything they have in the way of Allah. There's this Mujahid Hanayan used to say, I was walking from Najaf to Karbala, and I saw this this little boy and a little girl sitting, And all they had were small dates, pieces of dates. And they were giving it, they were begging the Zawar of Imam Hussain, please take this. And I got to know them and realized that they had a very harsh life, they had a very hard life. What they have most of the day or for the entire year is dates. And every time they have dates, the mom takes one or two, keeps it for they take you, sometimes they go home hungry and they give it for the Zawar of Imam Hussain and you see that verse of Quran in real life. That verse of Quran that says, okay, everyone is equal. What makes you different? Inna akramakum inda Allahi atqakum. Doesn't matter if someone is walking there, they work in Google, or they don't have a job. They're from the United States of America or from Uganda. Doesn't matter. Everyone is same. Everyone is Zawar of Imam Hussain. Everyone is Hussaini. So much barakat in Arba'in. So much barakat with anything related to Imam Hussain.
سيد الشهداء عليه الصلوات. اللهم صل على محمد.
Brothers and sisters, mark my word on this day. The barakat of attending majalis like this on this day, today at 5 p.m. on October 12, 2019. You cannot comprehend, I cannot comprehend, none of us can comprehend the sawab that it has. Someone saw Habib ibn Mazahir later on in his dream that, is there something that you wish you had done in your life that you couldn't do? He said, yes. One of them was attending the Majlis of Azal of Habib ibn Mazahir is saying this. Such high level, Shaheed, companion of Imam Hussain, commander of an army. One part of the army of Imam Hussain, the commander was Habib ibn Mazahir. So I wish I had the opportunity to attend the Majlis of Imam Hussain. Even if anything related to Majlis of Imam Hussain, there is this Hajjara, Maulana Sayyid Mahdi Qaba, may Allah bless his soul, he was the student of Sheikh Abdul Karim Khairi, the person who established the Fawzi ibn Qum. He said one day, so it was Muharram, Sham Qariban had ended, I was invited to be the speaker for 10 nights at this majlis. And they were leaving, they gave me a hadiyah. And I accepted the hadiyah. And we were walking. And the majlis was close to a place in Tehran. There used to be a street called La Lazar. La Lazar is very close to, the main street in Las Vegas, whatever it's called, where all the casinos, all the sins are happening. And the majlis was very close, and we had to pass through to get to our house. And we were walking, and we saw this lady, very bad way she was dressing, and I stopped. And I took the money out, and I told my friend, can you please give this to this lady? I said, no, I can't do that. I want to get close to this lady. What are we talking about? I said, okay, I'll do it myself. This Maulana went and stood next to the lady and says, Assalamu alaikum. This is a gift from Imam Hussain to you tonight. It's Shawna Qariban. But can you change? Can you change? Can you find another source of livelihood? Can you change? A year passed. This Maulana said, I was in Karbala. And I came out of the shrine of Abu Abdullah. I was walking, a man came and said, Maulana, can you stop? He says, my wife over there wants to speak to you. And I went, and this lady was wearing a burqa. And she removed it and says, Maulana, do you remember me? I was that lady. When he gave me the money on that night, I just sat there and I cried for 30 minutes. That Imam Hussain remembers me. And I changed. I did tawbah. I wore hijab. Out of barakat of Imam Hussain, I found a good husband, and here I am. And I changed. I wanted to tell you that I changed. Barakat of this family, brothers and sisters.
سيد الشهداء عليه الصلوات. اللهم صل على محمد.
you want to have barakat, brothers and sisters, be careful. Be careful about the small decisions you make. Sheikh Murtaza had another Mawlana. He said, one night I was coming back from a Majlis of Imam Hussain. I was the speaker, and I got very late. And I got to my house and I looked, all the lights were out, and I didn't have the key. So okay, well, I am late. My wife, my children, shouldn't be bothered because of that. I didn't knock. I just stayed there and I tried to sleep in the street. Some hours passed and then I saw my wife came and opened the door. To that extent, they didn't even want to bother their own family members. And she was always sleeping. And in my sleep I had a dream of Imam Ali. And he said, my friend is sitting outside, go open the door for him. Sometimes people do everything they can to go and find Imam Zaman, to see Imam Zaman. It's a lutf, it's a barakat, and inshallah I hope all of us get to see the beautiful face of our Imam. There's a story, since our time is short, I'll just tell you the ending. Someone went through so much hardship to see the Imam. And finally he met the Imam, and he saw Imam was standing with this person, and this person was trying everything he can to help other people while he was sitting with Imam Azam. And I was watching. I was not given permission to talk to the Imam, just to watch. And at the end, Imam left, and this person came to me and said, Imam had a message for you. Be good, and we will come after you. Be good, and we will come after you. That's all it takes, brothers and sisters. Allah has blessed us. The biggest barakats that we have in this life is the barakat of the love of Hussain and children of Hussain. I don't know what I have done to deserve such a barakat. But this family